Hello, everybody. Hello, you 100,000 amazing people around the world, give or take tens of thousands. It's good to see you here. Please hit the thumbs up and the share and all those good things. The CIA has blessed us. It really is a blessing. Has blessed us with the latest episode of their woke Coup-Plotters. You may remember about a year ago, I covered and others covered as well that the CIA was putting out videos showing how woke they really are and how all the wonderful types of people they have working with them as coup plotters. Well, the latest little episode has come out, so I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to revelations of how big oil is buying off influencers, quote unquote influencer. It's one of those garbage influencers. It's one of those terms where you have to use it because we live in today's world, but you're just like influencers. Anyone can influence you. You know, I was heavily influenced by a guy I saw at a department store who was bending over and his pants were not doing the job, and I just saw like way too much, and it burned. Like I had to scrub at my retinas with toxic chemicals just to kind of clear my thoughts. And I was thinking that guy really influenced me. He really had a big impact. He kind of changed my life because I'll never be the same. I'll never be the same. Anyway, how big oil has bought off or is paying many influencers in order to have an impact, in order to change how the youngins, how the kids out there think of big oil. Because, there has been I don't know if you noticed, there's been a bit of negative press about big oil, the whole destroying our future. Well, people act like that's a bad thing, So, but yeah, there's new evidence of that. I'm going to talk a little about this no labels party that I think I talked a little about it before, but I'm going to read a great or portions of a great article by Jim Hightower about this new third party that is giving everybody nothing they ever asked for. The exact same shit you got from anywhere else. Yay! We were really having trouble missing out on that. So I'm going to bring you that. Oh, yeah. Stuff on the EPA. Got a lot of good stuff. So please hit thumbs up, hit share, hit follow, and all those good things. And let's get to it. So this first story is about the latest episode of the CIA trying to prove to you that when they're working overtime, they're working hardcore, they work at all hours to try and keep you safe and destroy the lives of innocent people overseas as much as they can. And when those two things come together, it's a beautiful little hodgepodge, beautiful little melting pot of wonder and joy when they're able to both keep you safe and also destroy the lives of many, many people overseas. And so they want you here in the United States who are thinking about getting a job, thinking about somewhere to work. They want you to know the CIA is a great option especially if you're one of these woke categories, if you're young and black, or if you're LGBT. I don't know if you remember, I played that video last time around where they had a guy being like, I work for the CIA and I help make sure that people die overseas. And also I'm gay. As if it should matter at all. But beyond just that, it's like, oh, thank goodness they weren't like, listen, only heteros can blow up lives overseas. We're only having the straighties, okay, destroying people's lives as much as possible. So here's the latest one. This was actually posted by Stella Assange, who, she might have a particular bias on this, considering the CIA planned to either kidnap or kill her husband. But look at the type of people involved in those plannings for kidnapping and killing journalists. Here is one of them that I think you're really going to just fall in love with.
I love the fact that targeting requires investigating and being a detective of some sort.
Targeting.
The best targeting officers are really curious people. With my job, there's always something more than what you see on the surface. Honestly, that's a little like me. You might not expect it, but I'm a single mom. It's made me so proud to take my son abroad and change his outlook on life. And the agency truly helped me do that.
I mean, does this not look like an SNL sketch? Like, is this not start your story? Is this not like if SNL or a sketch comedy troupe were going to mock this, could they do anything different? Or would they just click play on this? Like, you might not know it, but when I'm deciding which Arabs to kill, I also have a son at home. Like, I feel like there's multiple reasons this is so repulsive, so just gagged. There's multiple reasons that this feels like that, and one of them is the idea of like, oh yay, so we have a black woman killing people over. Oh, we have a young gay Asian man who can also destroy so many lives. Yay! That's part of it. But there's also the thing about the aspect of it, which is why should it fucking matter? Why should, in any of these jobs, even if you supported the CIA, even if you were like, I love killing people overseas and destroying their lives and their livelihoods and fucking up their countries, and whenever they have a democratically elected leader, I make sure that's overturned. Like, even if you loved all that stuff, wouldn't you also be like, what's it fucking matter if she has a kid? Why are you telling me this? You might not expect it, but I would have paid money for her to go, you might not expect it looking at me, but I'm black. I mean, just the stuff, like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. But on top of it shouldn't matter. How repulsive is it to use this idea of being woke, which there's an aspect of being woke that is positive, right? I hope that you feel that. I mean, I know some of you are a little bit out of your minds on this, in this respect, but I hope you feel that yeah, gay people or black women or single parents should be able to do any job or do what they want and have the life they want. That's the part of it that's positive, right? But this is like legit weaponizing it. This is legit using that idea of like, we should have more people. We should allow, I mean, America in this regard has come very far, right? There is a time where a single black mother would not get a job at the CIA, but she also wouldn't get a job anywhere. Like, or would have a very tough time getting a job anywhere and would only be allowed to get certain kinds of jobs. And even then she'd be looked down upon. So in that way, this is a positive about our country. And they have taken that idea of that being a positive and used it to push propaganda for this disgusting, disgusting organization, the CIA. I mean, that has tortured people overseas. This woman says she's a targeting officer. I guess that means like she legit helps pick who they target, who they go after. I don't know, but they have taken the idea that we should want anybody and everybody to be able to live their life as they see fit. Shouldn't matter whether they're black or brown or Asian or a single parent, or they have 12 hamsters at home. You may not know it, but I have 12 hamsters at home that I take care of on my own. Shouldn't matter what their life is, what their race is. Oh, none of that should matter. They have taken that and they're using it to try and woke brush. I don't know what the woke wash, is that what it's called? They're trying to woke wash the CIA, because don't worry, we've got black people doing the traditional job that the elite, wealthier white men have done, destroying mostly non-white countries. And now we have black women doing it. Yay! Hooray! All right. I mean, this is so gag-worthy on so many levels. And let's just, since it's only 12 seconds long, let's watch it one more time.
I love the fact that targeting requires investigating and being a detective of some sort.
I'm a detective looking into who to drone bomb, or looking into what groups to infiltrate so that we can undo the democracy that has recently started in this other country. Looking into who to really go after in order to allow our economic war on said country to destroy as many lives as possible. You know, like it turns out that if we just go after this one guy, then certain medical supplies will not arrive in Venezuela, and so we get a lot of bang for our buck. So I figured out how to target him and really fuck up his life, so that he won't be able to help them get those medical supplies. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't know, but it's detective work. It's so exciting. By the way, just something to throw in here. This is Authentic Stories, The Journey to the CIA. And then it says in little writing, these are actors. So they're like, these are the authentic stories of these, gay, black, and brown women and Asian people, etc., and single mothers, and it's not really them. Yeah, no, they don't actually want to be on camera. Also, they're not very attractive, so we went and found better people to give their authentic stories.
The best targeting officers are really curious people. With my job, there's always something more than what you see on the surface.
And you know what's authentic about this story? How excited she was for that cup of coffee. I mean, I just connected to her just so much, because I was like, she likes coffee too. I thought that was only a me thing. But now I see that I am just like the CIA, because they also are young black women who like coffee. So that really just connected me.
Honestly, that's a little like me. You might not expect it, but I'm a single mom. It's made me so proud to take my son abroad.
Shot of child actor. Shot photo of child, not her child at all. Not furthermore, child actor did not know he was in a CIA ad. They got that child photo off of Shutterstock. I mean, I don't know if she knew she was in a CIA ad, but they absolutely just grabbed that photo off of Shutterstock. And we're like, oh my God, that's her child. I realize you're not, but plenty of people across America are like, oh, that's her kid. Oh, and she's taking care of him by making money killing people. What a good lady. Oh, not her kid at all. Just photo off of Shutterstock. They didn't even stop to see if it looks like her. They're just like, forget a kid, not a white kid. Don't make the same mistake you did last time. And then shot of corn. It always draws people in. Shot a child, shot of corn. That always really makes it relatable.
And change his outlook on life. And the agency truly helped me do that.
The agency helped me change my son's outlook on life by giving me a job targeting other mainly black and brown people around the globe. And it really helped. It really helped my kid figure out that one day, one day he wants to be a sociopath just like I am. He wants to be just like me one day. One day he wants to. He says, Mom, am I going to be allowed to figure out who to target overseas for the U.S. empire, the largest military industrial killing machine the world has ever seen? Am I going to be able to do that one day? Certainly, son. They would be lucky to have you, honestly. Okay, moving on. I got a lot of stories, so I can't spend too long on each one. Someone is pointing out in the comment thread that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s daughter-in-law works for the CIA, and yeah, that is one of the things that are beginning to add up. That are issues I have with RFK Jr. They're beginning to be a pile of them as time goes by. But I don't mind that his daughter-in-law is the CIA. He can't control, I guess, who his kids marry and stuff like that. But he has said multiple times in multiple interviews that he doesn't want to get rid of the CIA. He just wants to, change the way it's organized, and that it's made up of tens of thousands of wonderful, hardworking, brave individuals. And that's what the CIA is. He has said that more than once. Anyway, moving on. So this is the 1-year anniversary. I believe it was last week. The 1-year anniversary. By the way, everyone, click thumbs up. I know there's thousands of you watching, but only like 100 or whatever thumbs up going on. So please take the time to click the thumbs up, click the follow button. It does make a difference. It changes the algorithm. It helps me fight the suppression. I am the most censored comedian in America for the most part. So yeah, it really does help. So I hope you'll do that and also leave a comment of some sort. And thank you for everybody joining me on Locals. LeeCamp.locals.com is the only way I support this show. But okay, it's a 1-year anniversary of the FBI raid and following indictments on the Uhuru movement, the African People's Socialist Party here in the United States. And this party had been around for decades. They're most prevalent in St. Louis, Missouri, and in Florida. And the FBI decided it was time to crush them as hard as possible. So I thought, in honor of the 1-year anniversary, I would play a little clip from my interview with the leader of that organization, Chairman Omali Yeshitela. And it's about 4 minutes long, 4 or 5 minutes. And but I think you will really appreciate hearing Omali Yeshitela talk about what exactly the FBI did, what it's doing to him and his movement. And I think you should sit and think about whether this is the type of thing you want to see going on in the United States of America. Because I know it's easy, especially for your average white person across the United States, to look at the chairman of the African Socialist People's Party and look at him and be like, I'm not like him at all. And I don't even like socialism. It's evil. To just think that and just write off anything that he says or that the group says. But perhaps you should sit and think as to what he has done wrong. Is he not allowed to have free speech? Do you want to see the FBI raiding and indicting people for what the FBI, the spokesperson for the Justice Department said, quote, that they were arresting these people and indicting them for, quote, weaponized free speech. So they're admitting that this is for free speech, is really an admission. But anyway, here is a clip from our interview with him. This was back when I was hosting a show for Mint Press. And I have since left there for a variety of reasons. Nothing against Mint Press. I love Mint Press, and I hope you appreciate them as well. But anyway, let's thank you for that history. It's so much to learn, and you've been doing so much work for so many years. Let's get to that FBI raid, and we'll try we'll try and also discuss the so-called reasons for it. But they showed up at, I guess, just run people through it real quick if you're not too tired of talking about it. But they showed up at 5 a.m. and with flashbang grenades.
Yeah, my wife and I were sitting at the dining room table. We live right now, truly, is one of the most economically depressed sectors of St. Louis. That's where we live, my wife and I right now. And some others of people of our movement live in this area. And so we're sitting there, and actually I'm preparing to go to the gym, and we're initiating a program to train doulas, African women who can
midwives.
Make healthy environments for birthing babies for the mothers and the children. Because in St. Louis there are enough Black babies that die in the first year of life to fill 15 kindergarten classrooms every year. So
the U.S. is one of the only wealthy countries with infant mortality actually increasing.
Exactly. So this is one of the programs that we brought to the community, and so we're sitting there talking about this, and all of a sudden, out of the night, this racket. I mean, it startled us because at first you couldn't make sense of it. It just was so. You couldn't make sense of it. It's hard to actually believe this is happening. You hear this racket comes over the loudspeaker saying that people who are in this residence come out with your hands up and your hands empty. This is the FBI. And then as this is being said, flashbang grenades, these explosions begin to go off. throughout all around the house and throughout the neighborhood. And then in the back stairwell, they penetrated the back stairwell of the house, and they're exploding these grenades in the stairwell. And so this is what's going on. And so I asked my wife to let me go down first and to call people and let them know that we were being attacked. And she tried to do that, but they had jammed our phones. The phone company worked hand in glove with them, and she couldn't call anybody. Wow. So I go downstairs, and when I get downstairs, I'm greeted by these military forces in camouflage outfits, carrying assault weapons, and with mounted laser targeting devices, and they are all hitting me in the chest. These laser targeting devices, clearly, saying that they want me to know they can kill me if they want to. In front of my house, right in front of my house, there's this armored vehicle. And all of these people are out there. My wife, she comes downstairs behind me. And as she comes downstairs, she's almost hit in the face by a drone that they're sending up the stairs into the house. So we get downstairs. The flashbang grenades are still going off in the neighborhood. They utilizing the St. Louis Police Department. They blocked off the neighborhood. And then they telling me, I'm asking them, what is going on? Why are you doing this? And they're saying that that there's an indictment that's coming down later this morning of a Russian national who's in Russia. And should he ever come to this country, we're going to put him on trial or something to that effect. And your name was mentioned in the indictment. So let me see. And we have a search warrant for your house. So let me see the search warrant. They said, well, this is here somewhere. We just don't have it, right now. And well, let me see the indictment. Well, can't show the indictment because it's only going to be dropped later on this morning in Tampa, Florida. So here we are. They zip tie me behind my back. They take my cell phone from me. My wife, when she comes down, they handcuff her behind her back. And then they say that we could sit on the curb while they do this. Their objective in part is to terrorize us, terrorize the community, and then to humiliate us, in front of the people sitting on the curb, et cetera. And so we didn't do that. And so, we finally, just through protesting, what is going on? Why are you doing this? We say, well, if you want to, you can go upstairs and you can sit in this little place and not move. And while we go through the house, I don't want to go up there with you. So I finally persisted and said, well, are we under arrest? No. But can we leave? Yes, they said you can leave. So cut these zip ties off my back, get these guns out of my face. So they had a problem cutting the zip ties off me. They were able to take the handcuffs off my wife rather easily. So we leave. But at the same time, we didn't know it. Across town in a majority white section of St. Louis, which is on the south side, they've raided one of our centers there. They raided them.
Okay, so I wanted you to see that, to see really what they did to this group. Now, the group has put forward motions to have the indictments dropped, as we've seen with the U.S. government and what they do and what they will be doing in general, as they've done with Assange. I'm sure that the courts are as rigged against the African Socialist People's Party as they're rigged against Assange, and I'm sure they're not going to drop the indictments. But so it's going through the process. But I wanted you to see, now that it's a 1-year anniversary, exactly what happened to Chairman Yeshitela and the others. And it is horrific to hear about, but I feel like everyone needs to know about this. Everyone should be talking about this. Of course, it gets zero mainstream media coverage. Your mainstream media wouldn't dare touch this with a 10-foot pole, other than to maybe propagandize against the African Socialist People's Party. And as they said in the press conference, that this is they're arresting them for weaponized free speech, which is a new category apparently that the U.S. government has decided they can raid someone's residence, use flashbang grenades, arrest them, tie their hands behind the back. Not to mention after he pushed them, they said, "Oh no, you're not under arrest." Well, then why the fuck have you zip tied me, assholes? You're not under arrest. It certainly looks like I'm under arrest. You tied my hands behind my back. What is this? Just some S&M, some play, some dominatrix play we're going on? And no, you're fucking arresting me. That's what arresting is. It's locking someone's hands behind their back. Are you under arrest? No, we're just doing it for kicks and shits and giggles. Anyway, they continue to fight. So I highly recommend that you look up their story. If you haven't heard about it, there are plenty of great articles about it. I'm not going to go through all the details again, since I already have, but that's one of those fights that needs to be ongoing. As with, I mean, the problem with the persecution of people like Chairman Yeshitela, people like Mumia, people like even Steven Donziger went on for 3 years, and Assange and so many others, is that it is tough to keep it in the news, even for the independent media, because people want to hear new facts. You know, I can bring you some updates on Assange here and there, but a lot of the time there are no updates. A lot of the times he is wasting away in a fucking jail cell, and the U.S. government is happy to have him there, thrilled to have him there. And yes, they ultimately are asking for him to be extradited to the United States, but they're also kind of secretly just hoping he maybe dies before that even has to happen. So it is tough to keep these things in the news, but their fight is going to be probably long-term and ongoing. And I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't heard about it. But yeah, it is, someone saying it's terrorist tactics. It is. The U.S. government, in various regards, not all the time, I don't want to overstate it, but in various regards, has become a terrorist entity against the people of the U.S. When they feel like it's necessary, when they feel like doing it. As with Assange, this is also meant to have a chilling effect. It's meant to have a chilling effect on those who speak out against the U.S. empire, speak out against those who the ruling elite, who are extracting our all of our money and our resources and our lifeblood. So I'm opposed to that. I don't like that they kind of like take everybody's like lives and just destroy everyone. I'm like, totes not cool with that. So, all right, getting to the next story here. Let's talk about the No Labels Party. The No Labels Party, which I think they labeled themselves the No Labels Party because they don't want you to talk about what they actually believe, which is it's a combination of nothing and all of the same, which is it's confusing enough that I think they've attracted a small amount of morons who are just like, I don't even understand what's happening. They sound pretty good. They try to claim like, oh, well, first of all, let's just think about the initial claim of this party, which is that things have become too separate, too much of a dichotomy between the two parties. There's too much hatred, and so we need a party in the middle. We need to have a good old-fashioned U.S. political party in the middle of the Democrats and the Republicans. And here I am off to the side going, they're the same fucking thing. You can't have something in the mid. It'd be like saying, you know what your ass needs is an ass in the middle of the two cheeks. You need to, if we were to cram if you could just have another ass in between the two cheeks, because those two cheeks are too far apart. It's like they're on the same dude. You don't need another ass in there. It's the two cheeks are enough. There is no middle to the two parties. They are the same on like 90% of the systemic core issues of this country. Pro-capitalism, pro-empire, pro-environmental destruction, pro-big banks, big oil, big pharma, big ag, big fucking everything. They all support all of that. Military-industrial complex, CIA, the destruction of other nations. They all support the same shit. And so to say we need something in the middle of it is just breathtaking stupidity. And either the people doing this are so dumb that they think that we legit need something in the middle, or they are not that dumb, and they just know that this is propaganda that the American people have bought into, that there's two sides and Republicans and Democrats are so different. And so we could have something that pretends to be in the middle because they don't fucking know. I don't know which it is. I mean, I would imagine some of them that are involved in this are that dumb, and I would imagine others are even dumber. One of the people that two of the people that have been heavily linked to this. Well, one I know is Andrew Yang, but I haven't heard him mentioned as much recently. I don't know if he's still doing it. Maybe he is. But the other one is Joe Manchin has been at some events. So, the guy who claims to be a Democrat yet votes with Republicans on like most shit. I mean, it's just stupid. And Joe Manchin and John Huntsman, a former Republican nominee for president. Anyway, so this is an article from Jim Hightower. Well, he's not bad on most things. I don't know whether I know he calls himself a progressive. I don't know whether he calls himself a Democrat. He might, but anyway. It's that Common Dreams, his article. He says a newly formed political organization calling itself. By the way, I got Jim Hightower. I successfully got a bunch of people to do crazy shit. This is like 10, 11 years ago. I got Jim Hightower to dump Mentos into a Coke and make it explode. You remember how that used to be a viral thing? Is like Coke's exploding. I got Ben from Ben and Jerry to grab the top of an ice cream cone when he ordered it, like grab it at the top instead of the cone, which also used to be a viral thing. I got a bunch of people to do weird shit because I wrote a video about getting money out of politics, and it had all these people doing weird shit. So anyway, you can thank me for that. A newly formed political organization calling itself No Labels has managed to fall into both traps, standing up for everything and nothing at all. The fledgling entity is using every synonym in the book to assure everyone that it is a middle-of-the-road, bipartisan, centrist, both sides party, offering a hybrid liberal conservative solutions. Jesus Christ, dude, hybrid liberal conservative. And I mean, that's like saying your house smells like farts and we're going to bring in rotting deer carcass as well, just so you have the mix of the awful smells, just so it's just all combined. Oh, thanks. Oh, you believe in liberal stuff? Let's throw in some conservative stuff because that's what we need. We're it's just stupidity. They've chosen a multimillionaire coal baron and multimillionaire son of a global plastics polluter to be their standard bearers. If they're put on a presidential ticket, Democrat Joe Manchin and Republican John Huntsman could unite voters of both parties against them. While they don't stand for much, there is one huge overriding issue that the no labels hucksters strongly agree on. Corporate money contaminating American politics. These reformers are in favor of it. Secret fat cat donations are the no labelers' financial lifeline, having already hauled in hundreds of thousands of dollars from right-wing corporate interest, such as, no, say the funders, we can't tell you who's buying the no labels label, for the funders don't want the public to know their names on these or their special interests. So how amazing is it to have a new third party that's going to speak to the people who aren't being spoken to and be funded by the same atrocious entities that fund the other parties? Isn't that just... That's something to stand for. That's something to get excited about. Oh, good. They're going to be funded by the same shitheads that fund everything, that fund every Democrat, every Republican. I did a video just a few months ago on the new leader of the Democrats, new Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, on how he, Speaker of the no, Minority Party, I can't, whatever he is. New head of the Democratic Party in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, how he is funded. If you look at his funding, if you go to Open Secrets and look at his funding, it's the same as it's the same as Republicans. It's the same shit. It's AIPAC. It's the real estate lobbies, lobbyists for, big ag and big oil and big banks and all those. It's all the same shit. And they fund both sides because they own both sides. And yeah, pretty exciting about this new third party. I really am. I'm excited. I can't wait to get out there with my phone number one hand and go, I don't even care anymore. Like just a big banner that says, who even knows what the fuck we're talking about? Just wave it back and forth. I don't even understand. I feel like that should be their campaign motto. The No Labels Party. We don't even understand. Like, are you tired of thinking you might actually understand what in the flying fuck is going on? If that's true, then join our party, because we don't even pretend to know what's going on. We're gonna be in the middle of the two corporate parties that rule everything and always behave exactly the same. We're gonna be right down the center. Honestly, it'd be so. This final analogy, I've maybe out analogized myself on this one. It'd be like if the sides of the political spectrum, not even the political spectrum, the size of allowable, not even allowable, the size of thought of the way our society could be run. This, if you pictured all of that thought, here you got capitalism, you got communism, you got all types of new economic systems you weren't even thinking about that blow your mind and unite everybody and then create just a wonderful healing world. There's all kinds of that stuff in there. If all of that were the size of a football field, then the Democrats and Republicans' belief systems would be between it would be crammed on the 1 yard, between the 0 yard line, like the goal line, and the 1 yard line on one end of the football field. They'd both be there. One of them would be on the goal line, and one of them would be 2 inches from the goal line. And that would be where those two parties are. And then you have the entire rest of the field that is just like not allowed on mainstream media, not allowed on the ballot usually, not allowed in your to talk about with your family, and they say, you're fucking out of your mind. All the rest of the field is out there. And here are the Democrats, Republicans on the 1 yard line. And now you have the No Labels Party that's like, can I shimmy between you two? Picture an empty football field. And picture a rep for the Dems and a rep for the Republicans standing pressed against each other on the 1 yard line. And now you got a No Labels guy. You got Joe Manchin or fucking Andrew Yang walking up and going, I'm going to offer an alternative between you two. I know you're pressed French kissing right now. With one of your genitalia inside the other's something. I know that you're that close. I'm just gonna try and shimmy, and he just like squeezes in, and they're just pressed up against each other like this on the 1 yard line. And then you're not allowed to talk about any of the other thought that could happen on the entire rest of the football field. I think that's the best analogy I've ever had, honestly. Okay. Quick note before I get to this revealing. This is actually a new expose about how British influencers are being paid off by fossil fuel giants, which means American ones are as well. However, sometimes you don't always find the data on certain things. So this is dsmog.com has discovered this about British influencers, which everyone knows would also mean the same for American influencers, but, on social media. But about how big oil is buying them off, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into also how the EPA has not added a toxic chemical to their list of toxic chemicals that are regulated. In 47 years, they haven't added a new chemical. New chemicals are made all the time. New chemicals are in our shit. I'll get to that in a second. I can't use up my rant. I'm using up my rants too early. So I'm getting to those stories and maybe even more. That's coming up. But I wanted to tell you that my new book, Dangerous Ideas, which has been called the best book ever written by he's okay. It was me. I mean, I said it, but still, I think that matters. That matters in a certain sense. Why'd you even ask who the quote came from? I don't think that was fair. But it's now available for everyone, okay? It's not just, it used to be for the first couple months, it was only for those of you who are members at Locals, leecamp.locals.com. But now it's everywhere. I picked just some random ebook site that I've never heard of before. This because I didn't want to show you, Amazon. Because the way it works is it just puts it out on all the ebook sites. I don't have control over which sites it goes to. But so this is Kobo.com. Never heard of Kobo. Kobo sounds like a type of sexual preference that I haven't heard of before, like the kids are trying out. And it's like, dude, I'm Kobo. And you're like, oh, what is that again? And then they explain it to you and you're like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know someone could be into exclusively that, but yeah. Okay. Well, Kobo sexual it is. Anyway, Kobo.com. That's where I found this. And it is available for it's like $5 or $6. And anyone can get it now. So if you like my new book, Dangerous Ideas, it is filled with important stuff, important essays, but also comedy. I don't know if you know that. I also do comedy. So it's comedic and political and everything else. And the theme, as you might have guessed by the title, is largely those topics that we can't talk about on your mainstream media. Even many independent media outlets refuse to talk about ideas like prison abolition or police abolition or could we as humans, as a species, evolve beyond the idea of nation states, various dangerous ideas like those and many more. And I think you would enjoy it. And I'd love, if you do get it off one of these platforms, I hope you will leave a review or even just hit the number of stars there for a review, even if you don't want to write anything. I hope you will review it. All right. The rest of this live stream will be at rumble.com/LeeCamp. And, of course, my Locals page, rumble.com/LeeCamp. And, join me there, rumble.com/LeeCamp. Because I'm being censored everywhere else. So I'm trying to build up a page that doesn't censor me and remove me. And luckily, 50,000 of you have already clicked the subscribe/follow button at rumble.com/LeeCamp. Thank you for doing that. It's free to watch at Rumble as well.